and welcome to Time Mini Reads, Reviews, Discusses, Monologues about everything and anything, and that's on period. So, coming from my last video where I was talking about great entry points into the Cosmere, I am going to be discussing another system that's set in the Cosmere, which is Mistborn. Mistborn came out a while back. Let me see when it was first published, just to give you like an idea of how old this book is. They usually have it somewhere around here. Okay, so 2006. So it's over 20 years, I think. Um Anyways, I'll read the synopsis. Sometimes I worry that I'm not the hero everyone thinks I am. The philosophers assure me that this is the time that the signs have been met, but I still wonder if they have the wrong man. So many people depend on me. They say I hold the future of the entire world in my arms. When they see me, do they see a liar? Once a hero rose to save the world. He failed. For 1,000 years since, the world has been a wasteland of ash and mist ruled by the immortal emperor known as the Lord Ruler. Every revolt has failed miserably, yet somehow hope survives. Hope that dares to dream of ending the empire and defeating the Lord Ruler. A new kind of uprising is being planned, one that depends on the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind and the determination of an unlikely heroine, a teenage street urchin named Vin. Where a hero rose to save the world and failed, can a young heroine succeed? So Vin is our main character for the whole books, right? Pretty much they are living in a system or a world where there was a good and evil fight and evil actually won, which something that we haven't ever seen, right? Good always wins. But in this world, 1,000 years ago, there was a battle and the evil emperor or evil person won. And so the world has been oppressed by the Lord Ruler. And so this group of people are they are trying to put together like an uprising where they would be able to kill the Lord Ruler and take back, take the darkness back and bring light everywhere. And also, just similar to Stormlight Archive, there is magic that's kind of being discovered. Vin quickly discovers that she has this magic, which in this world, the magic has to do with coins. So depending on the ore that makes up that coin, like if it's a copper coin, if it's pewter, if it's iron, if it's gold, that kind of thing, So you kind of like flip the coin, and that force you can use that to travel. So he explains this way better than I do. I'm not I'm not the author, but if you pick it up, you understand the magic system has to do with the coins. And then there's a lot of backstory, a lot of history that Vin and her companions unveil throughout the book. So there's Mistborn, we have the Well of Ascension, and then we have the Hero of Ages. So there's three books. There's three books all out. Like I said, this was long time ago, brought out long time ago. So what happens is we go from Vin in the first books where she is still learning her powers to what she becomes in the Hero of Eight. Like she literally becomes the Hero of the Ages, right? Brandon Sanderson then went on to write about this same world. So this is what's the name of the world? I'm sorry. Luthadel, yes. Okay. So this was set in Luthadel. So we then get 3 or 4 other sets of book set in Luthadel, but let's say like 100 years later. So in this time period, the new ones, they have cars, they have guns, they have discovered industry, right? They are, coming up to, they have phones, the world is coming up. So those books are The Alloy of Law, The Shadows of Self, or Shadow of Self, and The Bands of Mourning, and one final book, which is The Lost Metal. So that's 7 books in this whole series where you can start from Mistborn and literally you can read it up until the Lost Metal. Brandon Sanderson has also shared that he is writing the next phase in Lutherdale, right? I'm guessing it's gonna be a time skip where we probably get like a space age now, because I mean they already have industry as a the alloy of lore, so I don't really know how advanced the next books are gonna be. But yeah, so this is, another great entry into the Cosmere. I don't know if you are a Sanderfan, you notice my shirt. This is a symbol from Mistborn. So, there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of so I would say Mistborn for me, I actually preferred Era 1 versus Era 2. I liked Era 1 more because I like just traditional fantasy. I just love those good versus evil, the good guys win, that kind of stuff. And I love the backstories of how things came to be. Not like we don't get that in Era 2, but Era 2 is more men have discovered guns and stuff. And so they are, doing wrong things. Like they're smuggling, there's like, illegal stuff going on. Whereas in Era 1, it's so traditional, they don't have those kinds of distractions, right? But Era 2, we meet a different. Okay, so the way the book is set is staged. In Era 2, we don't follow anybody from the first set of books. We do see a couple of people that we know from Era 1, but in Era 2, we are introduced to brand new characters as the main protagonist. And yeah, we follow Wax and Wayne and Steris and a bunch of other people, and you quickly come to love them, funny enough. So that's also something that was very fascinating is, switching characters is always so weird. Like you already are stuck to this people and you want to see them, again. But when we go to Era 2, where we are introduced to Wax, Wayne, new characters, but throughout, the Alloy of Lore, Bands of Mourning, and all of that, you actually quickly, they actually are, endeared to you. I wouldn't say they are endeared as much as I love Vin and her, her other partner Elend, but it was close. So yeah, so that's Mistborn. In Era 2, they still have that same magic with the coins. So it's, that's literally what that whole system has at its magic. Another thing I'll be remiss if I don't mention is the fact that each of the planets in the Cosmere are connected. And that's why a lot of people love reading the stories, because you will find Easter eggs in the stories. So in Mistborn, there's stuff that points to Stormlight Archive, and in Stormlight Archive, there's stuff that points to Mistborn if you are able to catch it. You can Google, search YouTube. There are a lot of people who have done dedicated reviews where they are, pointing out those Easter eggs. But yeah, so let me know if you have read Mistborn, if you loved the story, or maybe you didn't. Did you go on to Era 2? Are you excited for Era 3? I'm super excited. I believe that Era 3 is going to come out before Stormlight Book 6 comes out. So we'll see. I think as of last year, State of Sanderson, that's how the schedule was. He is actually currently writing Mistborn Era 3 right now. So he is writing Mistborn Era 3. I don't know if we're going to get all 3 books at once, because he's writing all 3 books at once, but I believe he's going to publish 1 per year. But as at the time he's publishing, he's already written them. So, and once he's done writing them, he will then go on to Stormlight. So we get these first before we get Stormlight. So again, there's a lot of time, so you have time now to pick up the 7 books and be ready in 2023 or 2032 when the next set of books comes out. Because so he's really good about doing Sanderlanche, where he just releases book like every year. So yeah. But let me know if you love Brandon Sanderson books, if you've read Mistborn, if you would want to move on to era 2 or are excited for era 3. I know this was supposed to almost be optioned as a movie or a TV show. I'm not sure, but that would also be great if they could do that so people don't have to read 7 books. They can just watch the shows or the movie. But yeah, thank you for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comment below. Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.